2015, opened our door, and most of our members could not get in. They waited outside for hours in the rain, and we saw, and we all witnessed, most of us here, a lot of people leaving who had the right to speak and could not, and that is wrong. This is an improper venue, and this should be done again, give them a chance to speak. Anyway, so the Bus for Progress is a 500-member organization. We are people-powered, we're a nonprofit. A lot of our members live in and around the Pinelands. We're all about getting involved in government and community as well, and making both better. Every year, among our many activities, we come to the Pines. We kayak its rivers and we hike its trails. We come here to find peace and tranquility in this, the most densely populated state in the country. This project, to me, is a Pandora's box. There are many developers waiting in the wings to see what happens with this project. In the old days that I remember, the Pinelands Commission will slow down or stop any kind of construction. I had a friend try to build a garage in his backyard in the Pines, and he had to jump through hoops and had a really hard time building that just small garage. And that was your job. If this project goes through, if you approve it, what is next? What projects are in the wings waiting to be approved? If this goes through, it shows that all you need is a fancy suit and money to get your project through. You want to be known as the commission that opened the floodgates, and if that's the case, why even have a Pinelands Commission at all? I'm a union member, and to my fellow union brothers and sisters, as others have said before, we understand and respect why you're here. You're here for good jobs. You're here to put food on the table for your families. But what we're trying to say here is that building this pipeline is not a good job. And this pipeline will hurt your family. Why not use your incredible metalworking talents together, and let's build a beautiful, large windmill farm off the coast of New Jersey to deliver megawatts of power from the breeze blowing right outside this door today, the breeze that we all froze our butts off with outside today. Could have been generating megawatts of power from. I've heard some people say earlier that it's important to have natural gas after a storm. But folks, it is the natural gas, it is the burning of fossil fuels that cause these storms. Just real quick, we also all know, living in the Pines, how flammable the Pinelands are. Do we need a 22-mile match running through the center of the Pinelands waiting to ignite? What about the homes? What about the businesses? What about the peoples whose lives will be impacted if an explosion occurs and there's a massive fire in the Pines? You were the stewards of the Pinelands, not for today or tomorrow, but for future generations. Are the boardroom profits of a couple companies worth all this? Thank you.
Thank you. Ron Hutchison. Kendra Palmer.
Thank you. My name is Ron Hutchison, a citizen of Northfield, New Jersey, professor at Stockton University. And I'm against this pipeline, and I want to speak briefly, narrowly, and as an aside, probably very geekily, on the issue of the benefit of the residents, benefit of this infrastructure to the residents of the Pinelands. Here are my two reasons why, if you approve this pipeline, you'll be subjecting citizens of New Jersey to a needless, lengthy lawsuit that will ultimately prevent this and other pipeline infrastructure from development anyway. Number one, the increased carbon pollution from this development can and will be directly tied to damaged ecosystem. The scientists Knowles and Stroh, in an article published 2 months ago in the esteemed journal Science, have tied CO2 emissions directly to sea ice loss. Their analysis indicates that more than 3 square yards of ice loss will occur per ton of CO2 released into the atmosphere. For the first time, we can tie small point sources of CO2 emissions, like the BL England plant, to habitat loss. This is a very significant advance in our understanding of climate science, and a recent positive development in the field. With a repowered BL England plant producing many hundreds of thousands of metric tons of CO2, and as a baseload power plant, these emissions can be tied directly, again, directly to habitat destruction. This leads us to the bigger problem that you as commissioners face. With these new types of studies, your own data on groundwater, funded by the Pinelands Commission, can be used to tie CO2 emissions from the power plant to habitat loss in the Pinelands. How, may you ask? It has been shown that increased atmospheric greenhouse gases can cause more intense storms and increased precipitation events in the Pinelands region. Your commission's data on groundwater will allow us to predict wetlands habitat loss in the pines and the negative effect on endangered and threatened plant and animal species, using an atmospheric analysis similar to Knowles and Strobe. Your vote as commissioners could then be tied to species loss in the protected area. I encourage you strongly to take into account even the smallest increase in methane and carbon emissions on our most threatened species. It's hard for me to fathom how this potential species loss can be consistent with any Pinelands regulations. Please look at the big picture when making your decision. Number two, the very nature of this development application puts the ethical burden of increased global warming directly on the residents of the Pinelands. Increasing access to fossil fuels negatively affects the development of clean energy sources. There's no need for methane use in homes. In conclusion, I encourage you to look at the scientific facts of your vote. Look at the PJM grid analysis. Look at the world the Pinelands will exist in the future. Good luck in your deliberations. Thank you for serving as commissioners in an unpaid and often thankless position. Thanks.